Namaskar, what's up, guys? Hi, this is Sriram Sulya, and I have a very interesting guest who's joining me in the studio today. He is a multi talented personality. He is the CEO of a very successful realty company, also happens to be an author, also is a singer. All this included into one power packed personality. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ashwinder R Singh. Welcome to the studios of FIBA 104.
Hey Sriram, thank you so much. I'm so delighted to be on your show, especially as we were talking on a weekday. It's a good relief to be out of office and having such an interesting conversation with someone whom I listen to quite often.
Well, this is a treat because I have so many questions to ask you. And how do you go about your day to day? How on earth can a CEO manage to take time out to live their passion and manage to do so many things? That's something that needs to be adulated for, because not everyone can keep their passion alive and keep it going. Was that something that you always wanted to do?
To be honest, I had this in the back of my mind that there were a couple of things I always kept on thinking, because by the time I ended up, directly or indirectly selling more than 2 lakh homes, I realized that there wasn't any ready reckoner for a home buyer, which is the fulcrum around which the entire real estate industry works.
Correct.
And I started writing about the book in 2015 and kind of released it in 2021.
Right.
So yes, it was there in the back of my mind, and I knew it wasn't easy. So that's why it took so much of time, because I was in a job which demanded 12 to 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
And yes, singing also, I never thought I'm going to be able to come out with a single and really sing a couple of songs which are being admired so much. But singing was always my stress buster, and I used to sing, and many of my friends, family used to say that we like when you sing. So it was there in the back of my mind.
That's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Ashwinder Singh, CEO Residential of Bhartiya Urban. To tell you a little bit about him, he was CEO Residential with JLL India and UAE, Group Business Head of Bajaj Housing Finance, admired entrepreneur, has been part of the startup ecosystem. You've established Anarog Ground Up as its co-founder and CEO. Now an author, now a singer as well, and you are a doting father as well. How would you like to introduce yourself, Ashwinder?
Actually, you've stolen the thunder. I think the only thing left is that I'm also a doting husband, because I'm sure my wife is going to listen to this show after this.
Right.
And of course, I think one aspect that has really given me a lot of strength is that I'm quite a family-oriented person, especially in the last 4-5 years. COVID has also taught us that how important a family structure is. That's it. I think God has been very kind that you are able to do multiple things given an opportunity, because I think there are a lot of talented people around us who might have the talent but don't have the resources or the chance, or the circumstances are such that you don't end up fructifying those passions or dreams or objectives. So I think we need to be very thankful to God and stay humble and stay grounded.
So true. Let's talk about your journey, Ashwinder. We see real estate being a major part of your career. And of course, people may have so many questions for you from the capacity of not just real estate, but also as an author and a singer as well. But was this a path that you always wanted to choose, or did this happen?
Oh my God, I think you've kind of reading everything in between the lines, Sriram. I started as a banker. I worked with Citibank for more than 10 years. I worked with Deutsche Bank. I've worked with Temasek, which is the Government of Singapore investment banking arm. I never thought I'm going to be in real estate, to be honest. And it was just, as they say, luck by chance. And I got into a startup, and that private equity was looking for somebody who understood processes, finance, and I was kind of responsible, fortunate enough to institutionalize the broking in India. And that's where where JLL kind of heard about me, and they were looking for somebody to run the business in India as a CEO, and that's how I moved into real estate. It was complete serendipity, but I think it was a good thing to happen.
Lovely. I'm sure Bangalore's real estate scene is very, very exciting, and plenty of listeners have a whole lot of questions that we'll bring to you as well. You went on to write a first of its kind book, the A to Z, or the A to Z of residential real estate. It's a number one best-selling book among Amazon's top 100 bestsellers in the real estate category. When did this thought come about that, chalo, book likhte hain, because this is on my to-do list and I will do it?
The thing was that I used to maintain a diary, and I used to write, when you're doing your meetings and you're taking notes. And I suddenly found my one diary was over and the second was over a period of time. And I saw so much of information in that I said, why don't we compile something? That's where the idea stemmed out. I never thought that I'm going to end up being an author. So then as I told you earlier, there is no ready reckoner which was there, which a home buyer can refer to. And you'll be surprised, Sriram, that 80% of the buyers, very knowledgeable, educated, professionals, lawyers, MBAs, end up making one mistake or the other when they're buying a home. That mistake might be a very small mistake, maybe costing them, 10,000 to a couple of lakhs. But then you feel like that, what can I really refer to when I'm buying a home? Because home buying looks easy, but it isn't easy.
Yeah.
And because when you just think of buying it, then all the questions start coming to you. So there was a latent need in the demand, and then I had been in this business for a longer time. I had been dealing with home buyers, developers, channel partners, and I figured out that it's high time that I, start writing about it. And then COVID came, which gave me a little bit of time to kind of compile my thoughts. And real estate actually changed a lot after COVID. Yeah. So that aspect also could have was an important aspect that the book captures. So, pre-COVID, during COVID, post-COVID, what are the regulations? What are the policies? How do you take a home loan? Or for that matter, rent versus buy? Why should Sriram buy a home if he can rent it? So what is the cost of capital? Should he block that 25 lakh down payment in a home, or should he invest it in the capital markets and make a 10 to 15% return? So there are so many questions, and the younger generation is very smart and they want to do a lot of research. So that's how this book came into play, and that is why it is doing so well, because it is a requirement that a home buyer has. So when they started searching and they found my book and they saw my background in terms of the professional experience I had in the real estate industry, it started gaining a lot of momentum.
That's amazing. This guidebook, if you can call it that, is available on Amazon. However, a few lucky privileged ones are going to receive a signed copy of Ashwinder Singh's book. If you want in, all you have to do is just send us a message. Type out, Ashwinder, when are you going to sing a song? Just type that out to 9739-104-104, because that's coming up in just a little bit. Also, I will be picking out 3 lucky winners who win an autographed book of this Amazon's top 100 bestsellers in the real estate category. I'm talking about A to Z of real estate, of residential real estate, the book written by Ashwinder R Singh. Ashwinder, there are so many things for us to talk upon and mull upon as well. Just to get a perspective of Bangalore's real estate market, right? I'm sure lots of folks are eagerly looking forward to see what you're going to speak about the Bangalore real estate scene. We see a lot of units which are around. We see the second-hand market is there with a lot of unsold units. At the same time, we see new launches happening left, right and center. So what exactly is the real estate scene right now in Bangalore?
A very good question. See, first of all, Sriram, I would like to tell you that Bangalore is one of the best real estate markets in India. And when I say best, let me qualify this statement by saying it is a very organized market if you compare it with other cities without taking their names. The home buyer is far more aware. The developers are very mature, very organized, very professional. The channel partners are very well educated. So overall, it's a dream market for India. coming to your question, which is a very important question now, you can divide the real estate market into two pieces. One is the under construction, which is the new launches that you spoke about, and the other is the ready to move in inventory, which we are assuming is already sold, and that is the resale market. What has happened is during the last 1 year, most of the ready to move in inventory, which was the new property, not the older ones, 5-10-year-old ones, but newly constructed ready to move in property has been sold. Right. And that is not just with Bangalore, that is true with Mumbai, that is true with Gurgaon and other metros. Right. So what it means is that if you are a credible developer, like you have many in Bangalore, and Bhartiya Urban is one of them, if you are coming out with a new launch and you are able to kind of figure out who your target segment is, what is the budget they are looking at, which are those micro markets which are really having a lot of demand. Like you said, Whitefield was a completely new market, and in the last 10 years what it has become. So what the consumer looks at is that if the developer has a good track record, if it is near my workspace. And the new trend that is coming up is people are also looking at integrated townships where they can walk to work, where they can walk to school, where they can walk to retail, hospital is nearby. So there are a lot of new considerations also that have come up after COVID. And people don't mind. The other aspect is people don't mind going a little far away from the CBD because of the work from home. So Bangalore being Bangalore, and the unique thing about Bangalore is that 70% of the job opportunity is in the technology sector, and work from home is still quite active there, and it might be in hybrid or it is fully active. So people don't mind now going a little further from the CBD, taking a larger home, because the home buyer today, for example, if you have a family, you have parents, you have a kid, so you have to have a home that suits your family. You can't take a home and then suit yourself. So people are ready to go away. They need an extra room so that they can work. And that's why the under construction market is also buoyant. There is a lot of supply. That is why the capital values are not increasing. So it is still not an investor market, though it is not as bad as it was 5 years back. But an end user market, a first time buyer, is propelling the Bangalore real estate market to be quite sustainable, and it is going to grow at a 4 to 5% annually over the next 3-4 years for sure.
That's great. We do see the shift happening. Workspace in our house has now become compulsory. People want everything in a stone's throw away, be it the grocery store, the medical store. Everything needs to be close by so that you can just walk in your complex and make it happen. The real estate scene is something that you can always refer to Ashwinder with, as he is the author of one of the best sellers. I'm talking about the A to Z of residential real estate. There are so many facets to this gentleman here. Coming over to the 2020 scene, I think that year was crazy, and that was in fact the year when you took on the role as the CEO of Bhartiya Urban as well. Talk to me about how things were. It's not like you could refer to a manual, and what were the biggest learnings that you picked up from that year?
This is a tough one because first of all, if anybody says that they knew what is happening, I think they must be lying, because this was something new to everybody. As you are asking this question, I have goosebumps, because when I go back to 2020, God knows what all was going in our mind. Will this pandemic ever end? Is this going to grow? What is going to go? Employment, the SME segment was getting impacted very badly. But the other learning is that health is wealth. The old adage actually came true, because the only thing everybody was worried was about good health of them, their family and their friends. And all those mad aspirations of becoming a CEO or a MD, or becoming a very rich businessman or a successful businessman, or which car do you drive and what is your address, actually took a back seat, because all the luxury cars worth crores were just parked, and people didn't see see them for a month in a row because they were all in their homes.
True.
And the respect for workspace came up. So the learning was that finally everything is in this so-called power, which is the universal power, which people also call God.
Yeah.
And one has to be grateful for what you have. And patience is virtue. And it also gave time to reflect, to look at your passions, to look at how you can use this time productively, how you can spend time with your family, how you can, impart certain values. Like I was a father with two grown-up girls. I could not spend as much time with them earlier, what I could spend then.
Wow.
And share a lot of things which were happening, enjoy, people started cooking, people started painting, I started writing, we all started connecting with our friends. So good things happened. It was a very testing period. A lot of people lost their lives. But my biggest learning has been that there is nothing more important than health. And, it is a good, successful life is a balanced life. Because I have seen that, the richest of rich also have very similar problems that the poorest of poor have. So wealth is only one vector of success. It is not the only vector of success, is my learning.
Very well said. And something to definitely go on the book that you were referring to, right? I love the fact that you maintained that little book where you would write simple things down, and that came in so handy. They always say just write down your thoughts because you never know when it's going to come in handy. Some of the most successful startup co-founders as well keep writing down problems. Just keep writing down problems because you have a whole list of problems to be solved, and there lies your opportunity. So lots of positive and interesting things that we've picked up from this conversation. Now coming over to Ashwinder's artist side, right? We spoke about you being the CEO, your journey in the real estate, as well as your career, and you being an author. Now, you being a singer just adds so much of flavor to your personality and who you are. You've come out with a brand new single, a music video. Who said that CEOs are meant to be in a big black office with a huge desk? Most CEOs are supposed to have a very serious demeanor to them, but you're such a fun person, and that really I'm sure the vibe spreads across, and there's just so much of positivity when you walk into a room. But this artist side to you, is that something that you've always wanted to keep alive?
I am loving it, Sriram, and I want to thank you once again for calling me to the studio, especially for this angle, because you're absolutely right. I really want to keep it alive. I don't want to do too much of it because it also takes a lot of time. When I was doing this single, I would go to the studio at 8 o'clock at night, stay there for 2-3 hours. It is not easy because, if the quality doesn't come out, then, everything goes out of the window. Definitely, I want to keep alive, God willing. And if I have friends like you who keep on, it's so nice when you see these aspects being appreciated. I would definitely want to keep it alive.
You love the stage, you love to sing, and you love to perform as well on any given stage. Your single, Pyar Naal Na Sahi, is streaming on YouTube and all the leading platforms as well. Ashwinder, why this song, and what was the whole thought, and who is this dedicated to?
This is dedicated definitely to my wife. For sure, this is a song which, one, it is very catchy, and the song says that you just have to look at me, and if you look at me, whether with love or with hate, all my diseases are going to get cured. And love and hate is a very important aspect of marriage. You start with love, and you then you have your ups and downs. So that's why this song, and this song has a great vibe to it. The beat is great. You start humming it, and it wasn't an easy song. So I wanted to give myself the challenge that if I have to sing it, I have to sing something which is worthwhile and kind of tests the singer in me.
Absolutely. Make sure you look it up. You can check it out on YouTube. The music video has been shot thanks to Alive India. Big shout out going out to Supratik as well. It's looking so colorful. It's got the right Punjabi flavors in it as well. and I'm sure it's a big hit all across, including Canada and all the other parts across the world as well. Check out Pyar Naal Na Sahi by Ashwinder Singh. I'm tagging it on my Instagram feed as well. Make sure you give it a go. You have fans all over. In fact, we have received a few voice notes. You may be able to recognize a few of these voices. Let me just play it out for you. All ears on this.
Hi, sir. You're my hero. Your book amazes everybody in my college. I wish to be like you someday. Sir, you're amazing.
Ashwinder, I agree with you. Lucky नहीं, hard work बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है.
Hello Ashwinder, how are you? I love you too much.
Hey Ashwinder, after seeing your music video, I have a big crush on you. Please see me someday.
Ashwinder, do you agree that the three most important things in real estate are location, location, location?
Were you able to recognize a few of those voices?
One voice I was.
Well, big shout out going out to all of Ashwinder's family. We had your daughter, we had your wife, we had your brother, your mother-in-law as well, and all of them had the nicest of things to share
My
about
God.
you. And isn't it amazing to have this support system who play, I'm sure, a very big role in your life?
Of course. This role actually can't be measured for each one of us. I think we are lucky as Indians, and what all our parents, our family have done for each one of us, Sriram, is phenomenal, because this kind of love is completely unconditional and very, very true to the this part of the world, for sure.
Yeah, and all of them were extremely nice and kind to take their time off and send us these voice notes. So much love going out to every one of you for being part of this little covert operation that we had going on. Now, we are coming over to a very quick round of rapid fire. Ashwinder, you'll need to answer this very, very quickly. No thinking. Let's begin with the first question. Comfort food for Ashwinder is?
Dal chawal.
Dal chawal, has to be dal chawal. What do you find yourself repeating very often when you are probably speaking to your subordinates, your employees, or your colleagues? What do you say most often that you have noticed?
Most often what I say is keep smiling.
You say that
Yes.
a lot?
Yes.
That's so nice and so very positive at the same time. A skill that you endorse for people, no matter which line of business they are in.
Perseverance.
Right.
Yeah, never give up.
Never give up, that never die attitude,
Yes,
because
yes.
you can always come back.
Because the yes is round the corner. Even if you've seen 25 no's or 50 no's or 75 no's, the probability of that yes is just round the corner. And as you rightly said, Sriram, because you meet all the successful people in the world, especially in this part of the country, it is just that 15 seconds of Instagram that can make you successful.
Sure.
But when is that 15 seconds going to come? You don't know. So you keep on trying.
You just keep on trying, keep at it. One way to unwind, according to you?
A glass of beer and music.
You said it. I think Mohal Banado. That's all we need right now as part of this interview. An artist that you would love to collaborate with.
I wish I could have collaborated with Jagjit Singh. He ain't around. I would definitely love to collaborate with Gurdas Mann or Diljit Dosanjh, because I feel those two people carry the culture on their shoulders with a big smile. I'm a big fan of Rahman Saab also, and that's it. But I would have loved Jagjit Singh to do anything in this world, to do
Right.
something with Jagjit Singh.
Legend, absolute legend. And now that you've put it out to the universe about your dream collaborations, hopefully very soon that's going to be happening. We are keeping our fingers crossed and looking forward for that. One song that you would like to dedicate to all of Bangalore that's tuned in right now, and I think by that I mean we all are looking forward to have you sing a couple of lines.
Okay.
We can't wait for this.
Yeah, so Bangalore is a very amazing city, especially the people of Bangalore I'm in love with. I'm in love with the city, its weather, and it's a song which is there on my YouTube channel, which I've been singing since my college days. So I'll hum a little bit of it. It goes, पुरानी जीन्स और गिटार, मोहल्ले की वो छत और मेरे यार, वो रातों को जागना, सुबह घर जाना, कूद के दीवार, वो सिगरेट पीना, गली में जाके वो करना दांतों को घड़ी घड़ी साफ, पहुंचना कॉलेज हमेशा लेट, वो कहना सर का गेट आउट फ्रॉम द क्लास.
Purani jeans. Oh man, what a song! It's so nostalgic, and you brought out so many happy vibes and memories because of that song. Ashwinder, thank you so very much for visiting the studio, and we look forward to many more jamming sessions. And can we have another song?
Maybe for the next time, I'll definitely. But Sriram, thank you to you, to your channel, and I wish I'd met you earlier.
No,
it's so good to have this conversation with you. Thank you for getting me on your studio. Thanks to you and your team.
That you are here, don't be a stranger. Once you become a rock star, make sure you remember us. We'll be the ones waving very, very excitedly from the crowd. But drop in whenever you feel like. We do have a green screen studio as well, that we'd be more than happy to have you and jam with you and coming up with plenty more exciting videos. Make sure you check it out. Ashwinder's single is out. It's streaming on all platforms. It's on YouTube as well, and it's doing oh so well. You can search for Pyar Naal Na Sahi by Ashwinder R Singh. Ashwinder Singh. Your YouTube channel is rocking as well. And how exactly can one find you on social media? On LinkedIn, you're everywhere.
Yeah, so on LinkedIn, you just have to search Ashwinder R Singh. The song is also on Spotify now, and that's how I can be found on LinkedIn. Just type Ashwinder R Singh, and you'll see me there. The channel on YouTube is called Melody Unplugged.
Melody Unplugged. That's the channel. Make sure you look it up. He's a singer. He's an author. He is the CEO of Bhartiya Urban. Ashwinder R Singh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Sriram.